Welcome back, folks. Got a new project today. Maybe, not sure. Undecided. So I hit up the U-Pull that's local to me. There's one in LaSalle. I bought this. Not the roof. This off another Chevette. This is normal stuff for Chevette people to have, but the sunroof. Found it. It's an aftermarket unit. Found it in a Dodge Neon. Okay, sure. Pulled it out. Came out in one piece. I mean, didn't break. Cool part about it for me, the glass is removable. So you can pop it for a vent, or you take it right out. And I thought, yeah, that'd be really sweet to put into the car. So earlier tonight, I was playing with it, and I got the hole cut, got it fit up nice. I think it would seal. I don't know. I hope, maybe, kind of. So between what I ended up with here is I basically used the roof from the other car, made myself a nice metal template, so that outer radius is what I need to cut. I gotta center this, make sure I'm in the right spots, make sure I clear the reinforcement up here in the ceiling, and pending all of those things, I commit to it, and then I cut a hole in my car. I'm undecided if I want to do it yet. I'm going to tape it all out, draw it. I want to see it first, get a feel for it. I guess you'll know right away because it's a short video if I don't do it, right? Oh, I was playing earlier today because I keep these speakers in the back. It's a very 80s feel. Until just today, I was just running off the power from the factory head unit. Well, I had an old amplifier. It's got a line level input, so I now have that stuffed in the spare tire well. Put it this way, I got a little rock concert on wheels now. It sounds awesome, so that's exciting. Trying out a new product. No plug here, but you tell me. And if I get close, this hood is awful. But she's shiny. Alright, so I've got my scaffold rolled up here. I want to be able to work kind of easy and reach and see and look. So I think this is a good tool to use. There we go. Locked. Alright. Gives you a nice view of the thing. At least. You can tell it's crooked as can be. First of all, I gotta find center on this roof. 15 3/8. So that should be centered. It feels good. It looks good. I'm still on those lines at the front. Right there and right there. Okay. I gotta find out. I gotta look at this from a different angle from underneath maybe. Just to make sure I'm not going to interfere. If I measure from inside glass back, maybe I can get a better number. Shouldn't have locked the wheels. Can't get in the car now. Yep. Close enough. So I can see the front seal of the windshield, and obviously based on that I know how far back I need to be. The only thing in my way is going to be the dome light, but if I have to extend that, so be it. Not the end of the world. So this car looks like it wants 6.5 straight line back from that seal to be far enough to clear. Let's check this again from this side now. Maybe we can all see it a little bit better then. If I did 6.5 straight line, that's gonna clear this frame all the way. That would be okay. That would be good. Then I gotta figure out the way the visors go in. It shouldn't matter. Or I just push it back a little more because I have a bit of space. I mean, the rib at the back, let's see here. The rib at the back is like 26. I'm probably okay to just send it. Let's see here. Rubber strip back, maybe 8 inches would be more than safe. Let's put this window down. That might be smart for later. Okay. 8 inches is here. Well, that puts me here. Okay, cool. So 6.5. So right now it would be into that frame, which I would agree. That's what it feels like. So I need to push it backwards. We're thinking that this was our center lines here. Center this way. Here. So then if we look at this, goes right to that tent line there. So 8 inches puts me here, and I said it's 26 to that other frame is here, so we can go back to like, ooh, this is really nice. We can go back to like there comfortably. That's 7.25, so that's plenty of clearance from the nose, and that still leaves me 1.5 inches at the back end for the dome light to go back up. Ooh, but the handle has to go in. We need to favor the front if we want to fit the dome light back in, I think. Because the dome light is a circle hockey puck looking shaped thing. Screws to the ceiling, helps hold up the headliner. But this sunroof, the handle is right in the back center. So I almost need to push it forward. I can go measure off the other car again, but it doesn't help me because I have no reference points. I almost have to go inside and drill a hole through just to line it up. Is that what I want to do? I think I figured out the most scientific answer. Maybe. Don't know. So I shot my laser in the car. The laser goes exactly to the edge, the closest edge of the trim. So the trim has a bit of a curved shape to it on account of the front of the car. So it's touching that outside edges, and then it has minimal clearance down the center. And then what I did, I rolled up my canvas here and shot my second laser. Lined at the dots right here. If you can see that, red and green lines are on top of each other. So now they're also aligned there. That means that this would represent exactly where that beam is underneath. So now I have what should be a straight line across the car showing me where everything is. What I have to avoid. I gotta throw the tape at that, make sure that it actually makes sense and I didn't base it off of something that's totally whack crooked. Doesn't look bad from here, but it's hard to tell. I have to get the tape measure on it, so I'm gonna do some of that stuff. Kind of boring, but leave that to me and I'll report back to you momentarily here. As if the, yeah, if that steel bar is here, that's okay. Because that means it's far enough away from me. I hope. Let's see if I can convey this message properly. So my green line represents where I can't cut. However, the lip on this sunroof does overhang slightly. And it's about, I don't know, 1/4 inch maybe, something like that. So the hole actually is about a 1/4 inch back. So let's say, for argument's sake, I pushed to that line about as close as I could get it comfortably, which approximately is there. That's pretty close. I still have about a 1/4 inch, so I'm probably about a 1/2 inch back from that seam, and that should be workable inside the car. I don't know about the headliner yet. I have no idea. This is the piece of the puzzle I was talking about. This is the trim for the rear handle, or for the handle to pop up and open the roof. So what I did, I marked out with this piece of tape the inside edge of this. So this line right here, the edge of that, represents where the crossbar is on the roof underneath and where the dome light mounts. Gives me that much space. 1 finger width. That's really close. And the dome light hole is pretty well dead center. It might be in the way of the dome light hole. Not the end of the world, because I can move the dome light. I don't really care. I'd be willing to bet that the cars that had a sunroof maybe had lighting on the floor or something instead, or under the dash. But dome light here makes sense. I think if it's going to go somewhere, it's got to go almost right where it is now. That's the only way it'll fit. So I have to be like right hugging that front line, center it left to right, and then commit to cutting the hole. Worst case scenario, I just have to move the dome light around, which is not that bad. I can push it back a little bit. Or heck, maybe I could get fancy and put it up in the front. You know, I don't know. Go find another one in the junkyard and put it in. Let's pencil this in for now. See what it looks like. This is a little awkward. All right. Where's my reference lines? Right there. It should be over there too. That looks pretty good. So if I push myself forward to about there, that is, let's measure it. Let's measure it and see here. That is about 3/8 setback. Am I on the right line? Yeah, it's just about 3/8 setback from the no-go zone. Undecided. Shoot. Okay, well, I'm gonna double check this center, pencil it on, and kind of see. I mean, that would work. It'd be really close on the nose, but it should fit. I should check on the other roof just to make sure. But I need room for that handle. So I fired up the extra bright filament light. She's up there, right there. Damn, it makes this hood look nice. Anyway. Got it stuck down with magnets, and I think that's the spot to be. My green line, if you can see that, I know I can see that with my eyes, but straight, it's as straight as it can be, and that green line is aligned with that red line, which means I'm square on the body of the car. It should give me just enough room to put everything together, so I'm going to pencil that on there now so I have the mark, and then we'll decide what happens, if I cut it or not. Don't really know. I want to, but I don't want the trouble. I guess you can always try to regret something after it's done. Maybe. Whatever. Let's pencil it in. Yeah, where do you guys want to park here? So I haven't been uploading a lot of stuff because I've been really busy. Between work, that's one piece of it, but then work. Homework, you know, work at home. Usually it exceeds the amount of work you do at work. In my case, it's true. I'm standing in it, so there's been obscene quantities of work. And I have an even more outrageous quantity of footage to share with you guys, so I'm looking forward to getting that put together. It's obviously the creation of this structure in which I am now standing. So gone are the days of working on the dirt floor barn. Can't really say I'm gonna miss it. But we needed a proper space. I've obviously got enough hobbies, but when you add my wife into the mix here, it's not really fair that she doesn't have a space to do her stuff either, so for both of our sakes, I think this building is a good solution. Yeah, I'm not sure how the headliner is going to turn out in this thing. I'm talking like I'm going to cut it already, so I don't know. I'm not getting cut tonight. It's too late. I need to sleep on this decision. Alright, it's penciled. So I'll pull the template off and we'll have a peek at it. Yeah, let's do it. These magnets are pretty slick. Stole them off the fridge. Jeez. Guess I'll just take them off the roof. Let's start there. Who would have known? Yeah, not me. Alright. Yeah, so the building still has lots of stuff to happen. But labor of love, I'd say, because I've been spending the last long time out here working on stuff, so it's starting to look like something. It's got a roof, it's got a floor. That's huge. Cool. All right. You know what? I'm going to cut the roof because what's the difference? This roof was jumped on. It was caved in and smashed. I had to push it back up with a jack. I don't know if you guys would remember. Not sure if you'll remember this. Probably not. I don't know if I ever recorded it. Let me shut these lasers off now. Good with that. Yeah, so the roof was all caved in when I got the car, and this cross member was crushed way down. So I actually had to put a jack in here, and I remember putting a bunch of cribbing up onto the floor, and I basically used the jack to jam the roof back into shape because it was all folded up. So if I'm gonna cut a roof, it might as well be this one on the car that I drive. No, I'm not second guessing this. It's getting cut. Not tonight, but it's getting cut. Yes. Cut it? Right. Got it. Okay. Yeah. So tomorrow I'm going to cut this. And then when I make the follow-up video after that, I'll just whine and cry about all the mistakes and the water leaks and stuff. So yeah, we'll go that way. I like that plan. Cool. Now it's a beautiful day. We were gardening all this morning. Now it's after lunch, so figure it's time. And since you see what you see, I think you know what that means. I just double checking the measurements. I want to make sure that it's centered before I cut it, because it seems like a pretty big commitment. I'm also going to put a drop cloth through the car to catch all the shavings, because the interior is pretty clean, so I don't want shavings everywhere. The car is not perfect by any means, that's a given, but I'd like to try my best to keep it a little bit nice. So right now it should fit pretty decently. The only thing I think I'm gonna have to play with after is the dome light, but that's not the end of the world. I can certainly figure that out kind of on the fly, not too concerned. Headliner, I was dreaming about that last night, and I think I know how I can make that fit halfway semi sort of decent, so that's what I'm gonna aim to do. Maybe, but you can drive the car without a headliner, so it's not like end of the world sort of stuff, and it's right over there on the hood, just kind of hanging out. And again, the headliner is even beat. Let's look at this thing. So when I got the car back on the road, that was like 5 years ago now, a little more. I redid the headliner, but I used the same material that was there. I had to put new foam down, and it was so stretched and wonky, and originally it looked nice and tight, but now it's kind of, I don't know, all stretched out. And you can see discoloration everywhere too, so really it's kind of finished. It's fine, it works for the car. The car is no showpiece by any means. You know, so I've basically made it work this long, and if a headliner gets ruined, and it's this one, I'm really not heartbroken. It's not really original. It's not that impressive, so I think this will be worthy. But let me get out the chainsaw and fire this baby up. As you saw the thumbnail, so you know, it only makes sense. Decent. That ought to catch some shenanigans. Everything's taped down real good. Can double check my sidelines. I gotta go to about the middle of the sunroof to get a number. And I'm about 6 3/8 to the top center of the drip rail. Let's go have a look over here. About center. 6 3/8. So left to right at center. And actually I think the sunroof itself, when it goes in, it has a little bit of wiggle room. Probably don't want to utilize that though. I'd rather the whole be centered, because then the sealant will have a better opportunity to seal around the perimeter. It might look like I'm procrastinating this. I'm a little hesitant, let's be honest. It's not something you do every day. So maybe I'm a little bit, what's the word, extra cautious on this project. Normally, all I do is clean the roof, okay? Cut me some slack. We got this. Now's my last chance to check and make sure that line is good. I'm sure it's fine because we spent so much time getting everything just right. So just gonna verify that. Like a glove on a foot. Perfect. There we go. Alrighty. Time for the magic. Maybe I don't care about the vacuum right now. I don't know. I'll cut towards me and then I'll cut away from me or something like that, maybe. I'm not sure. Pretty confident that this roof has really got a warp in it because it's wanting to twist so much. It was jumped on, so it's got to be the cause right now. Anyway, if I can get these magnets to kind of halfway hold it, all right. Not really happening, I guess. Try to get myself over to the other side and cut from the other direction now, probably pulling toward myself. Man, that's really buggered up. Maybe I could tape this and from the inside tape it. I have no idea. I'm not really sure. Let's see. Maybe. I just don't want to drop all this metal shaving into the car. Alright, that might do something. Yeah. There's lots of shavings on the drop cloth, so maybe it's doing what it's supposed to do. Catching some stuff. Well, there's not much going back now, I guess. All right. Well, that looks an awful lot like a hole. Got my file, so I'm gonna go and clean around the perimeter and try to get rid of the big burrs that are hanging on. Then I think we can start talking about a test fit, see what happens here. I went through some of the sound deadener there. I didn't bother pulling it off, didn't think it mattered much, so I'll probably have to remove that to put the trim on from the inside, or maybe just a part of it, but whatever. This is boring, I'm just gonna file, so you're not missing much. I'll probably leave the tape on too for test fit, then I'm not scratching nothing. Alright, let's see how close we are to everything fitting. I think it's gonna be tight, which is okay. I'd rather it be tight, right? If it's all loose, then that must mean I messed something up. That's about as tight as it could get. Oh, nice. That's actually going to give the roof a good shape, too. Sweet! That's tight, man. Not much wiggle. That's fantastic. So, okay. I think what I need to do now is pull the tape, or, yeah, well, I'm going to have to pull the tape no matter what. Pull the tape, clean up real good, make sure everything's hunky-dory like that. Then from the inside, I can use that steel bar as kind of a witness line. Make sure I get this thing in square so it doesn't look all wonky. Heck yeah, man, that fits really good. Excellent. That's nice. That's going to be perfect. How is it that it fits the contour of this roof? Are all roofs similar? Is maybe that the problem? Do all roofs have the same general shape to it, and that's why a universal sunroof from the Dodge Neon happens to fit the Chevette? I love it. Almost. Let's finish it, and then I'll see what I say about it. Now this front edge is a little wonky, but it fits. I like it. I think this is going to be a nice addition to this car. Well, I guess I'll stick the sunroof in again. We're going to make sure square fitment. Maybe we'll do some tape lines. Go from there backwards to see what we can do. Some sealant here, some weather strip here that's lifting. I don't know if that's relevant right now. I think that's what pinches between the metal frame from the inside. Shouldn't matter at the moment. This has some play. I definitely can't get to those screws. It's probably intentional. I'm sure if I go tightening something up, I'm just going to screw it up. Probably won't work right or something. Oh yeah. That's the best I could ask for from a fitment. And you know what? This is worn out enough that it matches. How's that? Vacuum the seat now just to be safe. Here we are in the car. Let's lay down a little bit. There we go. Man, it looks really good. Just tight, looks great. That roof has a lot of twisting to do. But again, it was jumped on, so it's all buggered up, I assume. It's the only logical answer. Oh yeah. It's actually gonna fix it and make it look even better. Good. And then that fits properly once the steel insert is done. The next question becomes headliner stuff. But let's go one step at a time here. We're gonna seal this sunroof in. I've got some mastic sealant that's for this garage leftovers. So I'm gonna steal that and stick it in between the underside of this and the roof of the car. When the bottom trim gets run in with the screws, that'll pull up tight and it will close that gap as tight as it can be. I have caulking too. Is caulking something you use for this? Because if I was going to use caulking, I would tape everything up and do it that way. Jeez, silicone. It's probably supposed to be windshield sealant or something. Let me Googleizer it and see if one is better than the other. I mean, that mastic stuff, once it's on, it's never coming off. That stuff's amazing. But let me do some research in here and see. I'm just cutting out the rest of this excess tape. So I set the sunroof in and I traced around the whole thing because I wanted to know exactly where the outside edge of the sunroof lies, like once it's installed. So now I've got a definitive line that I can follow, and the exposed red in the middle is how much space I've got for sealant. And as we know, if you saw me fitting that on there, it's pretty tight. So this is about as much space as I could probably give myself to work with, which is a good thing. I'm not cutting too heavy because I'm trying not to cut into the paint. I'm just trying to score through this tape so it has a good line to tear on. Cool. I think silicone's the wrong choice because it wears out. So let me find that mastic stuff I'm talking about. So this is the stuff I've got here on the building. It got used in a few different places, primarily at the bottom where the steel, how'd this work? There's a steel channel in the concrete. And then, how did it stick on now? When the bottom trim goes on, this goes between it. This stuff went on all the roof panels at all the seams in between them because it's meant to be weatherproof, right? So it's basically on a piece of like wax paper, and it is like super sticky and easy to cut, easy to work with. I think by the time I get it squished down into the sunroof, it should seal everything up. My thinking is once I get this stuck and sealed, I'm going to leave the masking tape on the roof, and then after the sunroof is installed and clamped and pinched tight in place, then if I'm going to do any kind of silicone, that's on the outside, because then you're going to see that black, silicone, let's say, around the perimeter of the sunroof, and it should seal it up pretty good and like one layer of protection additional. So this stuff being super sticky, I think this is the right answer for it. I'm going to start at the back center, work around to the back center. So, see what we can do. I should probably use a wax and grease remover first, because I remember if you didn't remember, whatever. I just waxed the roof. Well, ceramic coated. I don't know. I did something with the roof, so I should probably clean it first. There we go. Got my wax and grease remover. Jump. Let's see. It's definitely taking some stuff off. Took some paint, so maybe that's part of, because you know what, this had buffing compound, polishing compound. I've sanded this. I've done so many things to try to bring the finish back. So I'm thinking that that might have just been trapped in the wax or whatever. It's probably not lifting the base coat. That's silly. I'm sure it was just removing wax. Voila. Good to go. So let that cure. Let her dry for a minute. And then peel and stick. Okay, everybody's dry. It's time for the peel and stick. Let's see. Yep. Sticks. Sticks really well, this stuff. It's actually like kind of frightening how sticky it gets. Remember getting this stuff on your leg or something in the sun up on the roof? Holy. But then if it's cold, nope. You want me to do what? Stick? Nope, not going to do it. Won't stick for nothing in the cold, but by golly. Anything warmed up, yep. Geez, these radiuses it's not really fond of. This is tape. Yeah, wax paper rather. If I lift it off, it's probably awesome. No issue now. Beautiful. Cool. It's laying out pretty good. I'm trying to favor the inside edge, so if it squishes, it either goes inside or it doesn't squeeze out the end and like show up on the roof. I mean, I guess I could cut it again and remove that part that you see, because this stuff's basically like Play-Doh with glue in it. I don't know. I did not make it. I do not understand it. I just use it. That's fine. I do still need some of this stuff actually for the eaves troughs on this building. I'll get to that. Eventually, we'll get that taken care of. And Mm-hmm. There we go. It's stuck. Am I smart to put the sunroof in first and then pull these pieces out from underneath so that way it's not immediately stuck to the sunroof? Probably, yeah. I'm gonna say yes. Seems like the better option here. Having used this stuff before, it's sticky. All right. I think we're gonna do the old peel and stick, see what happens. The underside of this, maybe I should have cleaned that too. Probably not, maybe. Looks pretty clean though. Nothing on it. That looks good. Fine. It's actually clean. I don't think there was much sealant on the outside. Looks like they just sealed this inside edge from the inside with, must use the urethane or something for the windshields. Yeah, there it is. That's the stuff there. We'll be needing that where we're going. Nope. Alright. Make sure I put it in the right way with the hinges at the front. Put them at the back just for thrills, right? Probably shouldn't. Could, but I won't. Alright, make sure it pops in properly. Yeah, the roof is getting in the way because it's all bent. Ah, it's already on them. Messed it, huh? Okay, well, let me go around and figure it out. Yep. Yep. Cool. It's in. So, it's all the way forward. Yep. No. Unintentional. Here, let's see. Well, this is the opposite of what I was hoping was going to happen. Because I'm probably doing it wrong. Because I didn't read the instructions, but in my defense, it didn't come with instructions. So, that's got to be worth something. Okay, cool. Nope. This stuff's sticking, like mad sticking. So that's good, it means it's working. Pull this off first. Hopefully I don't regret that decision. Let's see. this corner. It's definitely a tight fit, folks. Which is probably better than a loose fit, right? It's gotta be. Okay. I got some birds that keep coming in here trying to make a nest. Keep on kicking them out. Okay. Yep. I think if I stick the metal frame in and run some screws into it from the bottom side, should sink in and down, and then tight-ish. Let's see. Let's go fight that now. All right, I went inside the car, I put the trim ring in. It really added some rigidity here to the roof. You can see where it's all caved in still here. I'm being smashed, but doesn't matter. That's beside the point. The mastic is rolling out of the edge here, so I'm glad I put the tape. Hopefully I can cut through some of the mastic and pull it off. I don't know, we'll see how it works, maybe. Fingers crossed. Because this is actually, to me, better than silicone. But let's see if I can get the excess off and maybe clean the seal, put the glass in. Do a water test, possibly? This thing is ready. So the way the frame is built, there's access holes inside, so I could put a tube. I could use caulking from inside, and I could basically fill inside each void and completely seal it up. Didn't realize that. Should have probably sorted that out first, because I guess that's probably a smarter way to do this job. I don't know. Mastic is a good idea, yeah, because I don't have the right stuff otherwise. But let's peel this off, the excess, and kind of see. Okay, so I just hit the rubber seal with some 303. I cleaned the underside of the frame just to make sure that I have a good opportunity to get a weatherproof seal here. Drop it in, maybe. Decent. Okay. I should be able to do this from inside the car. There we go. Cool. Let's close it and see. Oh, I hear somebody saying ice cold beer. I probably need to check that out. So we got it outside, just about to do the water test here, so got a ladder. I'll simulate some rainfall. Let's see what happens. Okay, well, that's the best I got for right now. Let's have a look. Yep, seats are soaking wet. Oh yeah, it doesn't leak at all. That's perfectly fine. Whoops. Remember I was talking about that regret thing? This is it. No problem. We can probably fix this. I just did the second test after making the super complicated repair. Let's see here. Yeah, so what I did is I closed the latch. Turned out I left her open the first round, so it leaked for a reason. probably a good reason. But looks dry now, so give it a hit in another 20 minutes. The first water test was an absolute catastrophic failure. But if you don't latch the roof, that's your own fault. So that's probably my own fault. The follow-up test after that was great under normal rainfall conditions. Then I had the sprayer, like full spray right into this gasket, right between the line where the glass meets the seal here. And I did get a couple of drips through that. There's not much life left in this. It's kind of squished. So maybe that could, might come back over time, or maybe I could put a little bit of packing under the edge of it to kind of push it tighter and get a better seal there, something, possibly. If I do that, we'll see how it goes. But next, oh yeah, you can see it doesn't really, like that's tight, and then kind of, so anyway, whatever, not a big deal. We'll deal with that after. But so far, it's good enough for rainfall, so I'm definitely happy with that. Next will be the headliner I'll have to figure out, and I think I know what I'm going to do with that, so we'll dive into it and see what we can make happen. But I'm thrilled. I think it looks good on the car too. It matches the style, the feel here. So, and as I'm working at it, I'm picking out this white stuff, a little bit of that sealant. Maybe I'll hide it with caulking. Don't know yet. I don't know. We'll see. But otherwise, I'm happy. I stuffed the headliner back in, almost kind of semi-sorta. Still need to put a few, I'll put the coat hooks in the back, I suppose, just to make sure that it's fit properly. And then, from the top side, this is the nice part about the removable glass. I can basically trace the shape. And that's not going to be perfect, but it should be really close. And if it's really close, that's going to have to be good enough. There's a metal lip underneath from that frame. I'm thinking some two-sided tape is what I'm going to try and see if it adheres properly. And then the finish cut will have to be done from the inside once the headliner's back in place and the first portion of it's cut out. So I basically have to botch the headliner to fit. But I think everything should clear nicely. I'm reaching my fingers all the way into the dome light there, so I think that bracket's going to be totally out of the way. Should be awesome. Yeah, all right, I think we're on the right page here. So this is just cutting, fitting, twisting, shaping, pulling, popping, and make some activities happen that way. So let me get on with it. I had some leftover Dynamat from when I did the Blazer, and that's like 16 years ago or more. I don't know. I quite literally just had chunks cut off left, so I slapped them in the ceiling here because it's all opened up right now. And the white stuff there, two-sided tape. I've got a bunch of it still. So I did the perimeter of the sunroof, some key spots I've been having issues where the headliner likes to drop from. I threw some on the headliner itself, and I'm about to cut the hole out for the sunroof. So the penciled line that I have is slightly smaller than what the finished sunroof hole needs to be. So the thought here is I'll cut it rough, like I'll cut basically my pencil line because that was traced from the top side with all the adhesion there. Hopefully it sticks nice, and then I can do the final trim from inside, because what I need to follow is like this metal edge right at the edge of the rubber, and we'll see how that turns out. I don't think it's going to be too easy to do that. I'll just do the best that I can do with it. Maybe my radius will be close and I'll keep it. I don't really know. Have to work a little bit around these to just sort of fit it nice, but yeah, I guess so. I gotta remember to put the dome light through in the right spot. And I think it's just about ready to pop it in there, so I'm going to pull the backing of this tape out and get ready to do it. Here we go. I didn't really test fit it. It's probably fine. Should have enough sticky on here for the next foreseeable future. Let's see. Dome light has to pass through here. Oh, I gotta take the screw out first, I guess. The dome light does a pretty good job holding this headliner up, so if I'm smart, I'll start there. Work out from the middle. Let's see. Heck of a lot easier with the sunroof, my goodness. Wow. Okay. Should pay attention to the visors kind of next, because those are pretty crucial where they fit. It needs to be kind of spot on. It's right here. Pardon me. Need a Phillips for that, and some screws. Okay. These were a little tricky to line up last time, but we'll see. Oops. If I can get them in place, then I'm okay. Screws just have to start. They don't have to get tight yet. And right there, I think. Yeah. Yep. Good. That started. No problem. Let's get to the other one. Cool. Well, that figured out its place pretty good. Alright. Let's go back to the other side. Okay. Let's get the coat hooks in. Should be a screw like that. Yep. Oops. Okay. Okay, let's stick our tape on now. Here's the dome light screw. Excellent. Okay. We should even have a dome light if I put the bulb back in. Do I dare test it? Guess I should, just to make sure it's gonna work before I go any further. Yep, all right, that's fine. That's as far as I'll take that, because it's gonna get hot. All right, now we can stick this around the back. I got a trim for the handle and for the hinges. So I'll get the knife, do a little trimming, and see. Oops. That was way harder than I had anticipated it being. It's not perfect, but for what it is, it's not terrible, I hope. I mean, I had to add a bit of edge guard here because I buggered it up. Otherwise, it's you know, a 4 out of 10 for quality look. I was working with an old headliner and no instructions, and I can make lots of excuses. I did kind of a crappy job. That's about the sum of it, but I can do it better next time when I have a new headliner to put in here one day. Gotta get the rest of this tint out of here. But dude, sunroof, and I can pop the glass out. Love it. Anyways, all right, I need to clean up in here because holy smokes, I've blown this place up. So, vacuum out the car and get it ready. Got Retrofest next weekend coming up. It's Monday right now. So Friday, there's some shenanigans going on. I'm gonna be checking that out. And then Saturday's the event. Saturday, I gotta be in Chatham at 6 a.m. So won't have a lot of time to prep the car. So I need to load it up and have it all ready to go now. And then I'm not gonna have to worry about nothing. So vacuum, wipe down, tire shine maybe, I don't know, throw the speakers back in the back, clean the garage, and get myself the heck out of here. Whew. Oh yeah, there's my headliner. Well, that was fun. I would totally do that project again. That's tough. It was really tough. That's been wiped down. The interior, I gave it a quick detail and shined up the dash and whatnot, so I think this is about as ready as it gets for Retrofest. I guess I'll clean the tires. That'll be right before I leave, probably the Friday morning or something. Tidy those up nice so they don't look so muddy. But for now, I'm gonna stick this back in the garage and just put it out of sight for now. Hopefully it stays kind of clean before I roll out. Might just need a wipe down from dust or whatever, but sunroof is in and I'm definitely pleased with the end result. From the outside, it looks great, so I keep having to pick off more of that mastic as it settles, so I'm thinking that it'll probably keep on. Yeah, it'll keep giving me a little bit of it for a while here, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna worry about it. The car doesn't hardly go in the rain anyway, so sweet. I appreciate you guys checking this out if you stuck around right to the very end. So tell me, this is a new style of video I was trying. It's been so long. If you guys like this style of video, tell me, and I will certainly make sure that I do more like this. Unless you're preferring more of the cut right to the point and get rid of all the jibber jabber in between and short and sweet kind of videos, then I can certainly do that. Just rather know what the preference is, if anyone appreciates it or not, and you know, a little bit of direction. So all right, let me put this away before we get some rain coming, because it's gonna happen soon. Catch you guys next time.